a great one. And having gotten a marching order from the president, from the government that we should increase our oil reserve. The topic of today's meeting is digital outcrop to model incorporating Siliciclastic intrusion into reservoir models using a modified discrete fracture network approach. And I'm glad to welcome our speaker of today and also the chairman. The speaker is no one else but Dr. Jude Oghenerurie Ojero, from all the way from University of London, all the way from UK, United Kingdom, and will be taking us in this topic. And I also want to welcome our chairman of this occasion, in the person of Mr. Ifeanyi Samuel Ede of the Research, Technology and Innovation Department, NNPC Limited. I want to thank all of us for joining this meeting today, and I believe it's going to be, this meeting will bring together, we're bringing together bright minds and diverse perspectives to exchange knowledge, discuss important issues, and explore opportunities for growth and innovation. So I want to encourage everyone to engage actively, ask questions, and contribute to discussions. And once again, welcome to this virtual meeting. And I look forward to a productive and inspiring section with all of you. Thank you so much. So I'd like to also invite at this moment the NAPE president, Mr. Jones Bosco, to please give us an opening remark or introduction.
Okay. Confirm you can hear me, yeah? ACC.
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Well. Something with my camera. Okay, it's okay now.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And I also, going through the call, it's good to recognize them. I see past presidents and fellows and our members across different regions joining the call. And again, like you mentioned, very happy that we have this platform of virtual connection to be able to still make sure that our ideas continue to find oil and gas, knowledge sharing continue to happen across boundaries. And this is exactly what we're doing. And I must say thank you very much, Abuja chapter coordinator and the executive committee members for sustaining this drive of ensuring that we provide this platform for our members, but also our associates to be able to pick knowledge from our speakers. And today, our speaker being Dr. Jude Ojero. When I looked at the topic, I said, well, no, this is quite good because it's good sometimes. Yes, we look at the work sessions, we look at, seismic wells, but at the same time, we know we have the outcrop out there. So the ability to be able to transform that outcrop in a digital manner and bring it to model, and then eventually translate to finding more oil and gas is something I'm quite interested to listen to, and I believe our members that are dialed in will be interested to listen to. So let me, again, on behalf of the executive committee members, the board of trustees and the advisory council of NAPE, welcome you also formally to this technical business modeling meeting for Abuja chapter. And I will say just enjoy the moment as we listen to the speaker. And I believe there will be a couple of questions and answers from yourself as well. Again, be rest assured that for us, from national level, we'll continue to do the best for you, do the right things, and ensure that we continue to move this association to greater heights. So with that, I will yield the floor back to our Abuja chapter coordinator.
Thank you so much, President, for that brief and insightful opening remark. So I want to welcome Mr. Ayokunu to please introduce the chairman of this great virtual meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Once again.
Good morning.
Starting on existing protocols, I would like to welcome our chairman for today. But before we welcome him up the virtual lecture, permit me to read his brief bio. Mr. Ifeanyi Samuel Ede. He is a seasoned geoscientist with about 13 years of experience in the oil and gas industry. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Geology and Mining from the Enugu State University of Science and Technology. alongside a master's degree in Sedimentology and Reservoir Geology from the University of Port Harcourt. He is currently pursuing his doctorate degree in Petroleum Geosciences at the University of Port Harcourt, Center of Petroleum Geosciences. He began his career in the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation in the year 2012 as an exploration geologist. He thereafter devoted his career to advancing in the understanding of subsurface exploration and honed his expertise in biostratigraphy, sedimentology, processing geophysics, petrophysics, geomechanics, and application of AI in geoscience. He has contributed to the scientific community by publishing 4 research papers covering biostratigraphy, sedimentology, stratigraphy, and application of machine learning to geosciences, and has shared his insights at different conferences, including the technical platform of the NAPI Abuja chapter. He is a Certified Innovation Professional, CINP, a Certified Design Thinking Professional, CDTP, and Certified Innovation Strategist, CINS. He is currently the lead subsurface exploration technology application at the Research, Technology, and Innovation Department, RTI, of NNPC Limited, where he integrates diverse expertise, driving innovative solutions that enhance exploration success and optimize resource development. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow members of the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists, please join me as we make welcome our chairman of today, Mr. Ifeanyichukwu Samuel Ode. Sir.
Welcome, Chairman.
Yeah, that's our chairman.
All right, good morning, everyone. I hope I'm
Good
audible.
morning. Yes, you are.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are. Good morning.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this section of NAPE Technical Section, September 2025. We're about to explore an interesting frontier in geoscience, how we can move from outcrop, digital outcrop to model, especially trying to incorporate Siliciclastic intrusion. So today the topic we're going to be exploring is digital outcrop to model, incorporating Siliciclastic intrusion into reservoir model using modified discrete fracture network. This is a clear example of digitalization for efficiency in geoscience workflow. And today we have an expert who is going to do justice to this topic. So I introduce to you Dr. Jude Oghenerurie, Ojero. Dr. Jude Ojero is presently a faculty member in the School of Natural Sciences, Birkbeck, UK, University of London, and also a research analyst at the Office of National Statistics, UK. He has been contributing both to academic and industrial research excellence.
Mm-hmm.
His academic journey and professional endeavors reflects a deep sense of commitment to advancing the field of geosciences in today's world, and especially globally. Dr. Ojero academic credential is a testament of his expertise in the field of petroleum geoscience. He earned his Bachelor's of Science degree in geology from the University of Oghenerurie and Master's in Petroleum Geoscience for reservoir development and production from the famous University of Manchester, UK. He also advanced his career by obtaining a PhD in Petroleum Geoscience, also from the same University of Manchester. His research interests are wide-ranging, focusing on reservoir characterization and modeling, structural geology, stratigraphy, and hydrocarbon basin analysis, Additionally, Dr. Ojero's work encompasses the use of digital outcrop models for petroleum reservoir characterization. He has several publications and over 200 citations. Dr. Ojero is also an affiliate of several professional organizations, such as he's a fellow of Geological Society of London. He's an active member of Society of Petroleum Engineers, SP, an active member of American Association of Petroleum Geologists, and our own dear dynamic organization, Nigerian Association of Petroleum Exploration, is NAPE. He is naturally motivated and eager whenever there is an opportunity for academic and industrial initiative like this. So this morning, I want to make welcome on stage Dr. Jude Oghenerurie, Ojero. Over to you.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thanks for the introduction and for the welcome. I want to first say thank you to the organizing committee, the president of NAPI, and everyone that put this event together. I'll just try to share my presentation and get into it. We all confirm that you can see my screen now.
Yes, you can see.
Okay, fantastic.
You can see the screen.
So again, good morning, everyone. My name is Jude Ojero, and today I'll be presenting on digital outcrop to reservoir model, incorporating Siliciclastic intrusions into reservoir models using a modified discrete fracture network approach. Here's a quick outline of my presentation. I'll start with an introduction to sandstone intrusions, which this presentation will focus on, and then go through the research aims, study area, and the digital outcrop data used. I'll then talk about the intrusion geometry characterization that was performed in the study area, followed by the modified discrete network, fracture network modeling approach that I used, how the sandstone intrusions were integrated into the reservoir model, and wrap up with the modeling approach limitations and conclusions. So sandstone intrusions. Sandstone intrusions, also known as injectites or clastic intrusions, form when fluidized sediments are injected into surrounding strata. The process is often triggered by seismic activity or fluid overpressure during sedimentation and compaction. Sandstone intrusions can range in size from millimeters to kilometers in lateral and vertical extent, and they can manifest as either dikes, seals, and in large scale, they can also manifest as saucer-shaped intrusions, wing-like intrusions, or conical intrusions. Here we see a classical example of a saucer-shaped intrusion in a seismic section from the Volund field offshore of Norway. The structure usually consists of an inner seal, which is just basically the base of the intrusion, an inclined intrusion, and then an outer seal from the top of the intrusion. And the next example I have here is from the Faroe Shetland Basin on the UK Atlantic margin. Here, conical intrusions dominate and have been in place in Eocene to Oligocene mudstone succession. In two-dimensional cross-section, as you can see, the amplitude anomalies appear V-shaped and consist of two limbs dipping towards a shared basal apex. So in terms of global distribution, sandstone intrusions have been well documented in a wide variety of basins and tectonic settings, reinforcing their importance in reservoir studies. They are well documented in the North Sea. We have several examples in the Wilder Field, the Volun Field, like we saw just before, the Alba Field, and several others, and also in California, in the United States, and several parts of the world. They also occur in various depositional environments, as we can see at the bottom right image, but they are majorly frequently observed in deep water settings and active tectonic regions where high fluid pressure within sediments are generated. So why do we care about intrusions? Why do we care about them? The first is that they form a new style of trap, the so-called intrusive trap. Injected sandstone bodies are often surrounded by low permeable mudstones or shales, and this acts as seals around the intrusions, creating potential hydrocarbon traps. They also form excellent reservoirs. For example, in the Volun field that was shown earlier, the whole hydrocarbon accumulation is enclosed in injected sand. The presence of these intrusions also improve reservoir connectivity and creates fluid migration pathway. On the negative side, they pose risks to seal capacity because they can breach the seals, and they can also cause early water and gas breakthrough during production. So the aim of this research was twofold. First, to demonstrate the effectiveness of digital outcrop model in reservoir characterization, and the second was to develop a modeling approach that incorporates the geometry and distribution and complex network of sandstone intrusions into a reservoir model. So because sandstone intrusions cut across bedding in irregular ways, conventional reservoir models are built to represent layered stratigraphy. Incorporating them in reservoir model is quite challenging. Hence, this work aims to address some of these difficulties. So the study area is the right angle canyon outcrop, and it's a part of the Planetary giant injection complex in California. The PGIC is well exposed over an area of approximately 400 kilometers square and is located on the western margin of the San Joaquin Valley in California, positioned between the Franciscan accretional complex and the Sierra Block, and was formed during subduction along North America's western margin in the late Jurassic to Paleogene. So the main mass of the Planetary giant injection complex is composed of two upper Cretaceous to Paleogene rock units. The Planetary formation, consisting of sandstone-rich deposits that were products of a deep water submarine fan system, and the Moreno formation, which consists majorly of thin-bedded brittle shale. This Moreno formation, as you'll see in the map, it has 4 different members, whereas in these deposits, intrusions are majorly contained in 2 of those members. So the right angle canyon hosts a well-exposed saucer-shaped intrusion feature, as you see from the image, and the outcrop covers an area of approximately 1.17 kilometers square. It is up to 2 kilometers wide and 700 meters thick. The saucer-shaped intrusion in the study area has a composite feature, and based on this composite geometry, the the area has been divided into 3 sectors: the northern wing, the southern wing, and the central area. And this area consists of several scales of sandstone intrusions. So to the digital outcrop data. So the data set was acquired by the Sand Injection Research Group at the University of Aberdeen using UAV photogrammetry technique. A DJI Phantom 4 professional advanced unmanned aerial vehicle was used in acquiring the high resolution images, and the processing and building of the 3D digital outcrop was performed with Agisoft Photoscan. So Photoscan kind of reconstructs the outcrop from the numerous overlapping georeference pictures that were collected during the survey. It does this by identifying common feature across overlapping photographs using structure from motion. I would like to just speak a little bit also about the benefits of using digital outcrop model and why it was my choice of data. So firstly, digital outcrop models help to bridge our understanding of features that we see in cores and features that we see in seismic data. For example, in this study, several of the small-scale intrusions are not seen in seismic data. So this helps to identify some of these features. Also, you can get data from inaccessible regions when you look at the conventional field mapping techniques. There are areas where you cannot access, but using these techniques, you can get access to this type of areas. Another benefit for using digital outcrop model is that you can get to view them from different angles. So you can get to swap different views, and this would kind of aid the identification of features that you will not really see in land-based viewpoints. And then you can have a large amount of sample size when you use digital outcrop models, and you can have rapid collection of data. So just like you have in seismic data, you have attributes that you can use to highlight features. Some of the softwares used for performing digital outcrop analysis have features that you can use to apply attributes to the outcrop model to highlight subtle features. And then in recent studies that are being conducted with digital outcrop models, you can perform interpretation using automated and semi-automated processes, reducing the amount of time that you spend performing interpretation. So moving now to the characterization, using the digital data sets, intrusion geometries were characterized in terms of orientation, length, thicknesses, and spatial distribution. And these are key parameters used for reservoir modeling. VRGS was used for the visualization, interpretation, and analysis of intrusion in the digital outcrop model. And it has tools that are very effective for analyzing structural and stratigraphic elements in digital outcrop models. This led to the identification of over 900 subseismic scale intrusions, as you can see in the image on the bottom right. I've interpreted both the saucer-shaped intrusion and the subseismic scale intrusion. Subseismic just being intrusions that are small scale and high angle. These are intrusions that will not be visible in seismic interpretation. Along with the geometrical measurements of the intrusions in the study area, P21 maps were also generated to show the intensity of intrusions and how they vary in the study area. P21 just being the length of the intrusion per unit area. This input is quite important when it comes to conditioning the fracture network that will be generated in later phase of the project. So I'll move now to the discrete fracture network modeling methodology. So these aspects of the work, as previously mentioned, it's a method that employs both stochastic and deterministic fracture characterization. The process involves creating fracture network and then upscaling their fracture properties for reservoir simulation. This was done using Petrol because the Petrol tool is quite good for carrying out a method like this. So my method just simply makes use of this digital fracture network, and it just takes the step a little bit further just to generate the intrusions by transforming the fracture porosity property that was generated after the scaling up of the fracture network. And this was done with the calculator tool in Petrol, allowing the generation of a new property in the model that represents the intrusion. So I'll move now to the reservoir model just to show how it was done and to show the results that I was able to obtain. So here's the full modeling workflow, starting with the importation of the input data set that was generated from the digital Outcrop model interpretation. Key surfaces were then constructed from some of the inputs, as you will see in a bit, and used for the structural modeling aspects. The workflow then moves into the modeling of the intrusions. So because the geometry of the social shape intrusion is quite complex, it was done using a different modeling approach, while that of the subseismic scale intrusions was done using the DFN fracture modeling approach. So for constructing the model, several key inputs were imported, as I mentioned. Here I have the elevation model for the right angle canyon, which was used in the structural modeling phase. And the next to it is the P21 map for sales in the study area. This attributes map was also generated with the software for performing the interpretation. Several other things were also imported. The statistical data from the geometry measurements, as well as polylines for the top and the base of the markup member, which is used for creating the zone hierarchy in the model. As I mentioned before, the social intrusion was built using a different approach, and this approach required the use of surfaces for the top and base of the social intrusion. So I also interpreted polylines for the top and base of the social intrusions and imported that. Just to note, for simplicity, I've estimated areas of the social intrusions that are not visible in the canyon. That's just to help the modeling process. So as I mentioned, key surfaces were generated with this input. I have here on the top, the top surface for the right angle canyon. And then I also have the top and base for the marker member. And then I also have the top and base for the social intrusion. So generating the social intrusion required for that estimation using published research on the social intrusion 3D geometry, and generating more polylines, as you will see in these two images, with an intersection plane in Petrol. As you see, I was able to add several more polylines to it, and that was used to generate the surfaces for the saucer that you see here. So with these inputs, I was able to create the structural model you see here. A simple grid was used to create the model, and in order to capture as many as possible of the small scale intrusions, a 2.5 by 2.5 cell size was used. It was also important to cut the model against the present day topography, and to enable, this was to enable comparison with the Outcrop. So in order to achieve this, the right angle canyon top surface was used to create a fluid contact. This was the approach I used. That fluid contact is then used to create an above contact property with the geometrical modeling tool. And then once that property is created, a property filter is then applied to give this this model, this structural model that you can see here, that matches the present day topography of the right angle canyon. So after generating this, I then moved to the saucer shape intrusion generation. So the saucer shape intrusion was also created using the same or a similar approach. As you see, I have created contacts for the top and contacts for the top and the base of the saucer shape intrusion, and then I went ahead to also create an above contact property for both of these surfaces. This is then passed on into the calculator tool in Petrol to compute a new property in the model, serving as the saucer shape intrusion. So calculating it just uses this simple syntax, and once that is done, it generates a new property that once you toggle on, will bring this up. And as you can see here, the saucer shape intrusion has been incorporated into the Outcrop model. So moving on to generating the subseismic scale intrusion, which is the next bit. The DFN modeling approach was used, and this required the use of the P21 attributes that was imported previously. So the DFN modeling tool in Petrol can be conditioned using a 3D volume. And since I have to model 3D geometry from 2D data, the P21 attribute was upscaled and is used in modeling a variogram for conditioning the 3D volume shown at the bottom here. Here's the upscaled P21 attribute. So along with this input that I imported, I also imported several sets. Like previously, I showed the one for the seal. So different other die sets were also imported and used to create 3D volumes that was used to generate the fracture network. So the fracture network is also conditioned with the statistical data that was gathered on the orientation, the thickness, and the length of the intrusion. So this was used to produce the fracture network that you see. As you can see, the fracture network here is not random. These have been conditioned to follow the the pattern of distribution of the data sets in the digital outcrop model. So you see that here in this section. On the top here, I have the length, thickness, and orientation of intrusion of the fracture network in the model. And at the bottom here, I have the length, thickness, and orientation of the intrusions in the outcrop data. And as you can see, it does have a good match with the fracture network. So after confirming that the network of the fractures in the model matches the intrusion, the next thing is to perform the modification step using the calculator tool, as I mentioned before. So when the network is upscaled, it produces some properties in the fracture network, and the fracture network porosity is then transformed into the intrusion that you can see in the model here. So once the calculator, the syntax in the calculator is run, it produces a new property. That's when you toggle on, shows this. So the next step is to combine the subseismic scale intrusions with the sausage shape intrusion, because they're created with different process. So to do that, I also use a another expression in the calculator to create a new property. And then when that property is toggled on, you get this. So what I'm trying to do here now is to compare the model that I've created with the digital outcrop model from the right angle canyon. So as you can see, to some extent, there's some similarity with the outcrop data, and I believe that with more conditioning, we can also get something similar to what we see in the outcrop data. I've also tried to show the collecting volume property of the model, just to show you how connected the intrusions are, and to show you that distribution in 3D. So as you can see, there's a good level of connectivity between the intrusions in the area. And then another thing I needed to show here was to show that properties can also be modeled in these intrusions that were generated, because it's quite important, because the porosity of these intrusions will differ from the host rock in the study area, or in any study that one is performing. So what I've used to model porosity here is not real data, but the values that you get that are shown here will be something similar to what you'd have in social shape intrusions. I also show that you can also model net to gross property as well. You can also model permeability and whatever property you intend to model in these intrusions. So I'll just move on to the limitations of this method, because I wouldn't say it's a perfect method. The first limitation I would wish to point out is the large computation cost of time. It does take a long time to generate, considering the fine scale nature of the model. And because it's fine scale, unfortunately, when you upscale it, it would possibly lose some small scale feature, leading you to try a different methodology for a different methodology when it comes to upscaling. And then because some of these intrusions are small scale and can have centimeter sizes, it will be impossible to incorporate them in the model, because you have to use a very small cell size, which will not be very reasonable. And then to use this method, you need to have several sets. You need to break the data into several sets, and breaking the data into several sets will mean that you have to break your conditioning data into several sets. This would require a lot of time and effort. So I would say that's one of the limitations. And then the final one is that you can only model planar intrusion using this DFN approach. That's why I've modeled the social-shaped intrusion with a different method. So I'll just love to round up by saying that the presented approach did reproduce key geometrical properties observed in the outcrop, and it did demonstrate some consistency, matching some of the distribution that you see in the outcrop, which shows the level of efficiency of the method. So if this method was to be employed, it will aid better well planning. And then, like I've pointed out, you can also model properties into the reservoir, into the intrusion. So this would help when it comes to reevaluating in-place volumes and net to gross. For engineers, it will help better focus of production profile and designing of enhanced recovery plans that is tailored towards intrusion driven flow architecture. So I'd just like to acknowledge VRGS for producing the software for performing the interpretation. I'd like to thank the NDDC also for producing the funding, and then the SIRG, the Sand Injection Research Group, for providing the data set, the University of Manchester for their facility. And I'd also like to thank NAPI for giving the opportunity to make this presentation. Thank you all for listening.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Dr. Jude,
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you so much for this insightful presentation and for being able to connect technical details to practical realities that we can relate to as geoscientists. Thank you so much. So let me do a quick recap of the presentation by our experts. You know I'm not an expert, but I will try, especially in his domain. The presentation today is about digital outcrop to model. And we are looking at Siliciclastic intrusion. Basically, when we talk about Siliciclastic intrusion, we are looking at sandstone bodies that are injected into the surrounding bodies of rock. And due to high fluid pressure, and this have a lot of effects, as already said. It can affect the seal. The seal is very important to us in the petroleum system. It can enhance the reservoir connectivity as well. Well, basically, we are talking about sandstone, and it can be in form of the conventional intrusion we know, dike or seal. We can observe it on the outcrop as well as the seismic. I think I heard V-shaped amplitude anomaly on the seismic is part of the what you expect in trying to recognize this intrusion. And he also talked about the basins of the world and different places where this occur. I'm not sure it happens in Niger Delta, but probably now that we are prospecting into the inland basins, we should also watch out for it. But I heard him talk about deep waters. There's a lot of deep water cases. So what are the challenges? These are small scale features, subseismic, but complex in their shape, and difficulty in representing in reservoir models. As part of his work, he created a digital outcrop using photogrammetric mapping, where they use unmanned aerial vehicles to get some captures. And this digital outcrop is very, very important because there are sub-seismic intrusions that it can help us to capture. And also, it can, in recent time, the digital outcrop the interpretation can be performed with maybe automated algorithm or software. The innovation about this work is the way these intrusions were mapped and the properties were characterized. The presenter talked about modified discrete fracture network approach that was used to create a 3D model of this sand intrusion. This was done either with stochastic or deterministic method. Petrology software was used, but basically what it did was to generate some attributes, maps, and surfaces of both the saucer intrusion and subseismic intrusion, and create a structural model and compare it with what you have on the outcrop model, and then create a property model both for the saucer and subseismic intrusion, because definitely their property will be different from the surrounding body of rock in which they are intruded into. Also, he highlighted some limitations that basically is around time, cost, and effort. Talked about large computation because you are dealing with finer scales. But when you want to upscale, you may also lose some features. And your data, you need to split it into several data sets. And, this takes a lot of effort, a lot of time. But I will round up by trying to speak more about the importance of building this reservoir model. Very important for us is we want to look at hydrocarbon recovery efficiency, and reservoir connectivity is very key for us. In some cases, the sandstone or siliciclastic intrusion can enhance the connectivity, and it will help us in the prediction of our hydrocarbon recovery. And if it is where you are doing enhanced oil recovery, it can also enhance the sweep efficiency. But there is also an issue. It can lead to water breakthrough in some cases. So it's very important that this is properly modeled in the reservoir model you are building. Also, if you have cases where these intrusions have cementation, effect of diagenesis, I believe that it can cause barrier to flow. It can lead to compartmentalization of the reservoir, which meaning that if you are not careful, your reserve estimation may be wrong. And when you put this into consideration, you need to, it will affect your well placement decision. This is really an innovative work, though I'm not sure of cases reported in Niger Delta, but the methodology, the concept is one that every one of us should, especially the issue of digital outcrop in this era of a lot of campaign around climate change, decarbonization. There is really need for us to adopt digital technology and see how we can use it to improve our work as geoscientists. So, Dr. Jude, I commend you. You've done very well. Keep the good work. Thank you so much. Over to my team for the question and answer section.
Okay. Thank you so much. So I want Dr. Lawa.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Doctor. And we say many thanks to the chairman of the day, Mr. Ifeanyi, for such a great insight in the topic of discussion today. So we have now opened the floor to our presenter to address some of the questions that might come up. I think we have one question in the chat box. If you want to ask questions personally, then you raise your hand so that you can be allowed or enabled to ask the question. So question, Dr. Jude, if you can hear me. It's great presentation. That's from Atonima Jonathan. Great presentation. Thank you. Questions are here. One, how can we distinguish between fluvial sand bodies and sand injectites? Okay. Then the second question is, which approach did you use to upscale the DFN to the model grid? Maybe you want to take the questions one after the other.
Someone is raising the hand. Someone raised the hand.
Okay, I've seen Abubakar Aji. Abubakar. Okay. All right, Abubakar. Abubakar, can you hear me?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, go on.
Hello, am I audible?
Very well. Go on, sir.
Okay, first of all, I would like to say you have done a groundbreaking and can I say a novel research, Dr. Jude. You have done a wonderful presentation and also the results are clear, especially nowadays. We tend to see, journals and industries like to see pictures, images, and things that need no much description. Just by saying, you know, that definitely this is what is what. So thank you so much for this. My name is Abubakar, and I am a postgraduate student in UTP, Malaysia. So my own is not a question, but a contribution. Before that, Dr. Lawan, thank you so much for also inviting me. One of my mentors. I am very happy to always join your sessions and have collaboration with you. The contribution I want to make is, especially now, the software you use, the Petrel, which was founded by Slamaji SLB, a Malaysian-based company. So in my institution, people have been using Petrel for building groundbreaking things like this. And once you know the software, sky is your limit in terms of research. But the research landscape is about to take another dimension, especially with the advent of AI. I am just suggesting if you, in your future research, you incorporate machine learning and some stuff related to AI, so that you can like have a cutting edge research and a research that is blended, especially with the trend of how things are going on. But honestly, I am very much more touched by seeing such a kind of research, especially from a fellow. from Nigeria, and very happy for that. Well done, Dr. Jude. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, Dr. Jude, maybe you want to respond to his AI talk, then you have the first two questions.
Yeah, so the reason why AI has not been used in this work, machine learning techniques, is because we wanted to use an easy process so that people can easily adopt the processes without having much skill sets in computer programming. Not everybody has computer programming skills. So and then if you're going to use machine learning process, you need also to create you might need to create an external software that's obviously, we're trying to use just one software to create this method. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Jude, the first question. How can we distinguish between fluvial sand bodies and sand injectites?
Yeah, so to answer that question, obviously, injected bodies they are injected majorly into mudstones. So number one, they will be discordant with the stratigraphy, so you can easily identify them. I think probably in terms of seals will obviously not also be 100% concordant with the bedding. So because of their shapes, obviously when you see sand in a shale that terminates, you definitely know that these are intrusions. So the termination pattern, the cross-cutting pattern, the fact that the cross-cut stratigraphy branch as well, you'd use that characters to know that they are intrusions.
Yeah, thank you very much. The second question was, which approach did you use to upscale the DFN to the model grid?
Yes, so in Petrol, the DFN modeling package has two aspects of it. The first aspect, like I mentioned before, was the package where you create the fracture network. So also in Petrol's DFN fracture toolbox, there's also a scale-up tool there that you use to upscale the fracture network that is generated.
Okay. I think, I hope that suffices the questioner, Atonima, if I'm right. So we still have more minutes to questions and answers or contributions from our distinguished audience.
Someone is raising their hands.
Okay, who was that? Okay. Okay, Julius Onwuka, please go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Jude, I really enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you.
Especially when you look at, the present trend in analysis of complex reservoirs, like we have in most of the offshore field, where you have dominantly turbidite environment. But my little concern is in your limitations. You mentioned that it's strictly on a planar surface. So is it not a bit concern? And then looking at today's E&P business is basically on trying to solve complex reservoirs. So what can you say on this? And then secondly, look at it from maybe carbonate systems. What can you say too? Thank you.
Yes, so the limitation of modeling intrusions in that with that method, like I mentioned, intrusions can come in different shapes. Well, you'd obviously get a lot of them having planar shapes. So you have some nested intrusions that are curved shape. So you won't be able to model those shapes of intrusions using that kind of method. And then, like I also showed, the social shape intrusion, it's not possible to model it with that aspect. That's why I've used a different method. So to incorporate shapes that are not planar into the model, a different approach would need to be used for that. In terms of carbonates, that's in carbonate settings. I've not really heard much about intrusions in carbonates. So it's something I might go back to look out for and see what has been done so far in that area. Yeah. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, Mr. Julius, sorry, you can unmute yourself if you, yeah.
Okay, one thing I have to commend is the novelty of your work, and one thing I equally look at is when we are trying to solve a problem, we don't create another problem, but maybe we can take it offline and share ideas together. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any further questions? We have a few more minutes for questions and answers or contribution. You know, I must commend Dr. Jude for this work as part of my contribution. I think we can also apply this kind of approach, for instance, when dealing with sequence stratigraphy, even on that is using seismics, because there are some projects that I have worked on, and you know, in the area, especially that specifically back information, there has been a report that this kind of injectites represent elements of unconformity or erosion in the stratigraphy. So the application in that case, you can use it to support sequence stratigraphic interpretation if they occur or they are found in core data or outcrops. Okay, because if there's a huge erosion, then maybe what you will just have intruding into overlying beds would be elements of this kind of sandstone intrusion. This is from my experience from working in the back information, on the back information.
Yes, I think in terms of that, a lot of work have been done on sediment remobilization. And I think someone was mentioning to me that there was a work done in the Niger Delta on sediment remobilization. And they also saw some seismic images that looked like social-shaped intrusions that were also interpreted as artifacts. So previously, sometimes some of these intrusions are interpreted as seismic artifacts, but they have been reinterpreted as intrusions. So it's possible because if you go to the image that I posted on the distribution of sandstone intrusions around the world, you'll see that Nigeria, around the offshore of Nigeria, they have put a star on it to indicate that it is possible that intrusions can occur in such area. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Any further questions from anyone, please? Okay, if there are no more questions, permit me, Mr. Chairman, to yield the floor to someone else to continue from here, and that will be next thing will be on presentations of awards to our presenter. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So I'll be inviting Mr. Emmanuel Oghenerurie for the presentation of the plaque to our presenter.
All right, good afternoon, everybody, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dr. Jude. Thank you very much for this laudable presentation. I'm on behalf of the NAPE Abuja chapter executive and everyone present here today. It will be my great honor to present this award of appreciation to you, Dr. Jude. We're deeply grateful for the time that you've spent so far, the efforts, and also your expertise to share your knowledge during this technical session. Your presentation has not only expanded our knowledge, but has also inspired us to look at our work in a very new perspective. And so this award, I don't know if it can be projected.
Dr.
Can we have
Mariam,
the award projected, please? So the award is a symbol of our appreciation for your valuable contribution. And we hope that it will remind you of the impact that you have done to us and to every audience on this call. So I'd like to indulge every one of us in this call and join me to thank Dr. Jude Oghenerurie Ojero for this outstanding and enriching presentation. I hope that it's been presented to you virtually, but I hope we'll make arrangements to see how we can get the physical awards across to you in the earliest possible time. Thank you very
much. You're muted. Oh.
Okay. I don't know. It projected, so you will see. You'll see. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity I was given.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Dr. Ajayi, over to you, please.
Justice. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry about the delay. We're trying to get the flag on. Please, can you see it on the screen?
Yes, I can see that now.
Okay, so Nigeria Association of Petroleum Explorationists Appreciation Award presented to Dr. Jude Oghenerurie Ojero, PhD, researcher in Sedimentary Petrology, Department of Earth and Planetary Science, School of Natural Sciences, Birkbeck, University of London. In recognition of your contribution as the presenter at Abuja, NAPE Abuja Technical Meeting on Wednesday, 10th September 2025, courtesy of Abuja chapter. Thank you so much, Dr. Jude, for the stimulating presentation. I'm sure we all had a very nice time, and it actually reminds us of the importance of collaborations and continuous learning in advancing geosciences and reservoir engineering. Thank you so much. The plug will be sent to you. Sometimes we have it already in our location in Nigeria, but we'll find a way of sending it, getting across to you, maybe through Dr. Lawa. Thank you once again.
Yeah, thank you very much for the award. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much to everyone that attended, and thank you to the committee for setting this up. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So over to you. The announcements. Mr. Ayokuno. Can we have the announcement, please? Are you there? For the announcements? Mr. Tunde, please could you display the announcement?
Okay.
Of NAPE activities. Okay. Ayo.
Okay, can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Ayo is muted. We can't hear him.
Okay, Madam Eunice, maybe you take over.
Okay.
Maybe you continue to do that for us. Ayo is muted. He's not speaking.
He's not speaking. Okay.
Yes, he has to unmute himself.
Call him. Okay, I'm trying to.
Oh, okay. So without wasting much of our time, I will just go on with the announcements. So this is the icebreaker, and it is a call to all students and graduates and young professional to the Young Energy Essay Challenge, which the essay challenge for this year is Fueling the Future Young Energy Essay Challenge. And so I think you can get more information. You go to the NAPA website. And so if you are a student, a graduate, or a young professional, you can be part of this challenge, and you stand a chance of winning, getting some prizes. Next slide, please. To the next slide. All right, so we have other technical meetings coming up. We have the UK Europe chapter technical meetings coming up on the 12th of September 2025. The North American chapter technical meeting is on the 22nd of September 2025, and then the Port Harcourt chapter technical meeting on the 23rd of September 2025. We encourage all corporates and also individuals to be part of the sponsorship of these technical meetings. The one for, okay, so this is for the North American technical meeting, and the topic is on perspectives on attributes for sedimentary and stratigraphic analysis in the slope and deep water setting, and building a robust geological model. Like I said, it's on the 19th of September by 12 noon Central Time. That is 6 p.m. North African West African time. And you can also be part of it. It's virtual, so you can be part. It's a hybrid meeting, so you can join through the Zoom link. Next, please. This is for the Port Harcourt chapter, and the presentation will be on the 4D FWI learnings from the USAN field, the 4D monitoring towed streamer survey on the 23rd of September, and it starts by 11 a.m. You can be part of it. It's a hybrid meeting also. You can be part of it via Zoom if you're not physically in Port Harcourt. Next slide, please. So this is introducing the NAPE elections coming up, and these are the following contestants. And so it's for each and every one of us to get to know the candidates that are vying for the NAPE elections this year. And for the position of the vice president, we have Dr. Wilson Osong, we have Mr. Emmanuel Egbele, and also Mr. Temitope Adelaja. So you get to, these are the ones vying for the office of the vice president. Next, please. For the office of the president-elect, we have just one candidate, and that is Dr. Anthony Ofoma, FNAB, vying for the office of the president-elect. And also for the office of the university assistant program, we have Mr. Afolabi Fatumbi. So he's vying for the office of the UAP chairman, and he seemed to be unopposed. And so once again, let's be reminded of the forthcoming the 43rd NAPE Annual International Conference and Exhibition. It's coming up from the 9th to the 13th of November 2025 at the Echo Hotel and Suites. This year's theme of the conference is revitalizing the Nigerian petroleum exploration and production strategies for energy security and sustainable development. So please try and make plans to be part and to attend the conference. So we ask for registration. The registration, you can register as an early bird from September 1st. Members can register with 120,000, non-members 160,000, lecturers 70,000, students 40,000, while international attendees can pay $285. Once the early bird doors are closed, that's from the 1st of November, members will be required to pay 150,000, while non-members 170,000, lecturers 80,000, students 50,000, and international attendees can pay $295. So we're encouraged to to make sure that we are all financially updated in terms of our membership dues and subscription. Please, you can get the information, the details in API, bank details, and update your financial status. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel, for that. I want to invite our president-elect, Mrs. Olajumoke Ajayi, to please give us a vote of thanks before the closing remark. Mrs. Olajumoke, our PE.
Yes, good afternoon, Dr. Ajayi.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
And thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I must commend the presenter of today for an excellent and insightful presentation. Now, when I saw the topic digital, this and the outcrop and all that, I felt like, oh, what's it going to be like? And it was seamlessly presented, simplified, in such a way that it was well understood. Thank you very much, Dr. Jude Ojero. And to our chairman, thank you very much for doing justice to summarizing the presentation. And it was well summarized. So I won't want to bore us with further discussions of the topic because a lot has been said, but it was a good presentation. Thank you very much, Dr. Jude, and also our chairman of the day. I want to come and thank our fellows who joined us, like Dr. Duro Piton. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Wole Oyetaran, and our own Mr. Alex Taka, who is also a past president of our association, our ESCO members, Dr. Jackson and Dong, for joining. Our coordinator, Dr. Eunice Ajayi, and our ESCOs, thank you very much for bringing up this topic today and bringing in an excellent presenter to do justice to it. We appreciate all our members, both students and active members, for making time out to join. And it was an engaging topic because if you look at the participants, they were on the call from beginning to the end, which shows how engaging the topic was. So in all, I say thank you to everyone, and we look forward to having you attend other technical meetings, and not only at Abuja chapter and other chapters technical meeting. And the big one coming up in November, we look forward to having you at our conference. Thank you very much and have a good day, everyone. Thank you. God bless you all.
God bless you, ma'am. Thank you, our president-elect, for staying on till now. And also want to sincerely thank every one of us for your active participation, insightful contribution, and commitment to knowledge sharing. And I hope we will take these insights back to our respective fields and continue to explore the ways of applying them for practical and impactful outcomes. So on behalf of the Executive Committee of NAPE, I send my gratitude again to our speaker for the stimulating presentation. Was so encompassing, and I really gained a lot. And also to the chairman, Mr. Ifeanyi, thank you so much for the beautiful presentation too. We'll look forward again at our future engagement where we can build on today's knowledge. The meeting is thereby brought to an end. Before then, I want to also invite us to the next meeting, which is going to take place on the 30th of September. It's going to be an hybrid one, and we're going to be inviting our young professionals, and then young professionals, and also the young the university students also to come over to Abuja for one insightful training section. As we do that, it's going to be on the 30th of September. So I want to welcome everyone to please come and attend this meeting. At this junction, this meeting is hereby brought to an end. Thank you so much. I wish everyone a safe time at work and also safe trip to our respective destination. Thank you and God bless. See you on the 30th of September. Bye. Certainly. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. I think you have got to the end of the meeting. Yeah.
Okay. You're welcome.
So is it recorded? Everything have it?
Yes, it's recorded. It's also on our YouTube page. I'll send the link.
Okay, okay, thank you. So Dr. Lawal,